Hi, I'm Diane Dayton, backstage at Berks, the 35th annual Boscov Berks Jazz Fest in Reading, Pennsylvania. Catching up right now with Dr. Chelsey Green, violinist.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Diane. I mean, this is so much fun. It's been such a great festival.
It has, hasn't it? There's so much great energy with the artists and the attendees, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really good. So let's talk about how some of this started.
Sure.
Age 5, is that right?
You know, I that is actually more accurate to when I was, technically sound enough to make music on the instrument.
Okay.
I did start when I was 4, and my mother wanted me to play violin from when I was born, and I came into a very musical family, so they had their eye on it. And when we were it used to be called Kinko's. Do you remember when it was Kinko's? And you would go in and get the printout. You would plug the big old plug into the machine to make copies. We were at what is now FedEx office, and my mother saw a woman printing music. And she's had a violin on her back, and she said, "Do you teach violin lessons?" And the woman was a member of the Houston Ballet Orchestra. I'm from Houston. And she started teaching me when I was 4, and she would bring me to sit in the pit with her at the Nutcracker, and she would let me meet all of her colleagues, and meet the dancers and meet the producers, and it was just beautiful seeing how the whole musical world came together. So I fell in love pretty early.
Yeah, you did. And you've done wonderful things since.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Well, today just listening to you at the Women of Jazz with Chris Big Dog Davis.
Yes.
And doing the Wayne Shorter piece.
Doing a Wayne Shorter tune, yes, a lot of fun. He wanted to do blues for the opening set, and I just love footprints. It's such a unique blues structure, and it really lets you stretch out a little bit towards the end, so we really had a lot of fun with that.
I've got to ask you, what is it about the violin that resonates with you so much? And I mean, you just own it so well.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, I really believe that the violin, really any instrument that you play, is an extension of your voice. Mm-hmm. So I try, even on my albums, to mix the voice and the violin in the same level so that listeners almost hear the violin as an extension of a lyric. So, I think about grandmother sitting on the porch and humming the hymns in their heart and just having that melody pour through them. That's what I hope to bring the tone and body to my instrument.
Well, you do.
Thank you.
You really do. Now, you're an educator at Berklee?
Berklee College of Music in Boston.
So tell me about how long you've been doing that.
This is my 8th year. I did take a sabbatical last year, but this is now my 8th year teaching. And education is in such a different place right now. COVID did a number on education as well as where we are with technology. And I think there is so much to learn from how technology is developing our industry, but then there's a lot to sit and value and say, we need to really make sure children can play instruments. We want to make sure they are getting a saxophone, a harp, a flute in their hand, and really learning how to play the instrument to, embrace it musically.
Yeah, really is key.
Yeah.
You are also on the chair of the board of Trustees.
Yes.
At the Grammy.
Yes,
right?
Yes. I am the first Black woman and the youngest person to ever have been elected to that seat to be chair of the board. It's quite a roller coaster. Love it, love it. There's, it's been such an honor to be elected to that position, and it's just such a massive organization. We do a lot of celebrating our artists, of course, with the Grammys, but the Recording Academy overall does advocacy. We do education, professional development. We work a lot with producers and engineers and songwriters for royalty rights and just creator rights in general. So it's such a vast organization that really it's been one of the most challenging assignments of my life, but so rewarding at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What else would you like us to know about you that we might not know?
I got to play today with an incredible lineup of other women in this field. And I just think it's also important to share that I do have my own ensemble as well, Chelsey Green and the Green Project. And we've been together together now, I can't believe it, for almost 17 years.
17 years?
Yes, and we have toured the world and recorded albums, and you know, I love making music in general, but when you start with a group of musicians that has come up through the ranks with you, gotta give it to the Green Project as well.
Yeah, so tell me, who is a part of the Green Project?
So on drums we have Brian Wheatley, he's Spida, a lot of people know him as Spida on drums, and then we have Ignatius Perry Jr. on keys, who's the musical director, and we also we are using a couple of different bass players right now, but we've been touring most recently with Frank Jeffois on bass.
Okay,
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, when you're not teaching, when you're not working on anything with the Grammy,
Oh my goodness.
when you're not performing, I guess there's a little bit of time.
Is there? Goodness, it's barely any day.
Besides sleep.
Right.
What else do you enjoy, Chelsey?
You know, it's so funny you asked me that, because I asked my friends, we were on a tour bus a few months ago, and I said, raise your hand if you have a hobby. Like, who has a hobby? And what is it? Like, do you ice skate? Do you bowl? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
And it became this whole discussion, because it's really fascinating that so much of what we do is what we love. Like, music is usually a part of something that I'm doing all the time. So I will say sleeping does get the #1 position if I do have a little bit of downtime. But cleaning my house gets the second position. I get a lot of therapeutic peace through cleaning my house.
And gratification.
And gratification.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
gratification. And that's a good word, too. I know we've talked to other artists, too, about giving, gratitude
Yes.
for life.
Yes.
And some of the things that we've had the opportunity to experience that have come our way.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
100%. I think, as I started getting older and started losing some of the elders in my family, one of the things that hit me was we wait way too late in life to consider the quality of life.
Yeah.
That's always a question doctors ask on a ventilator. It's something that I think we have to be much more cognizant of through, as we mature through different stages of life. Like, it's one thing to be busy, but it's another thing to be present.
Yeah.
And really enjoy what you're doing and really be fulfilled in that moment, so that it's not, hey, remember when I was so stressed and worried, but having the time of my life traveling around the world playing this thing. So I really do try to step back from it all and say, this is such a blessing to be able to do this, be very grateful.
And being in the moment when you're doing it.
Being in the moment.
Yeah, and sharing it with everybody, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, we are so glad that you're here, and
Thank you.
continued much success, and I can't wait to see you somewhere. You coming up somewhere soon, somewhere else?
We have a few dates coming up in the summer and in the fall.
Okay.
I'm from Houston, like I said, so Juneteenth is a really big deal from where I'm from, and so I'm really excited about what we have coming up.
So how do we find out?
You can log on to chelsegreen.com, www.chelsegreen, CHELSEY, green like the color.com.
That's easy enough.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking
Thank
time. It's so good to get to know you a little bit better.
Absolutely, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
We're coming to you from the Berks Jazz Fest.